Well, we finally have a really nice spring day today. It's warm, sunny, and Dad and I are working on getting some equipment hooked up for all of our tillage work and everything. And Dad went to move this 1066 off the manure spreader here and switched it out for our 806 that's outside. That's what we normally have on the spreader. And went to start it, and it wouldn't start. And through some problem solving stuff here, we've determined that it was the batteries.
7 years old.
Yeah, 7 years old. We decided they were probably time for replacement, so we ended up taking them down to Battery House, which is a local place that sells batteries here.
Where we normally go.
Which is where we normally go. Ended up getting all the way down there. Didn't even think to call, you know. Never had problems getting batteries. Drove all the way down there, back up to the door, open tailgate. The guys come out, and as soon as they see them, they said, uh-oh. Apparently they can't get those.
No batteries.
No batteries. They haven't had the ability, I guess, to get those for quite a while. So
we called the closest Case IH dealer, which was the Worcester store, who also said that they had none. So we called the Sterling branch, and fortunately they had just gotten some this morning. So we hurriedly went to Sterling and got two. And found out that they're shipping some to their Worcester satellite store tomorrow. But who would have guessed? Batteries.
kind of a bad time of year for things to not be available. You know, springtime, everybody's getting everything out, getting it hooked up, ready to go.
Tighten up.
I didn't tighten that yet. Yeah, you can tighten it.
I put that bushing on there because
I know it would crush.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of a bad time to not be able to get things. So this is a rock box, a homemade rock box. My dad actually made this. It's got a lever here you can use to trip to dump it. We're pretty particular about our fields, so as we go through working dirt and everything like that, we see rocks, we pick them up. Now, obviously, you find something real big, you're gonna have help, but most of the time we don't have that where we're at in our region. But we pick everything up, and the reason being why we do that, one, your combine, you know, combines, you don't want to run a rock through there, disc bines, choppers, anything along that line that has the ability to pick up a rock and run it through a machine, it's going to cause a lot of damage. And so we like to pick up all of our rocks, keep our fields nice and clean. So that's what we're doing here, is putting our rock box on. After we get that on, we'll spin this around. We'll start putting duals on. Probably. Well, we run into another little snafu. We had this rim replaced this past winter. Well, you went to Hallmanur, wasn't it? And the tire was flat. Anyways, the rim was cavitated out around the valve stem. You can't. Well, yeah, the valve stem's over there. Anyways, so had to have the rim replaced, and I guess one of these turnbuckles here that you use for putting on your duals must have stripped out, and we didn't know about it, and now we're trying to put the duals on, and naturally you find some carnage here and there, but that's why we try to have everything put together before the weather's perfectly nice, because you'd much rather you're waiting on nice dry weather than the dry weather's waiting on you.
Let's get a new bolt. That doesn't want to go.
So we're gonna get this fixed now.
New bolts.
Well, we got the duals finished up on that 1066 back there. Now we're going to get the duals on the rear of this 3588. It might.
Try the 10 and then I'll put this.
Okay. How you want this nosed in? You want this nosed in or what?
Back end might be better.
Well, next order of business here, we're down here at Mom and Dad's place down here in North Farm. Just dropped him off out there at the shop. So he's gonna grab the Magnum, bring it up here. We're gonna hook it onto our chisel plow here. We always use that for working in any of the ground that we spread manure on. Pretty well most of our ground is no-till, but anywhere there's manure, you know, box stall manure out of the barn or from the main dairy, the liquid manure, that all we work into the ground. But he's out there now at the shed, grabbing that tractor. So we're gonna get that hooked up to this chisel plow. The inside one. So forward picked it up. It was, yeah. So I'll set it back down. Pressure or no?
No. Now try it.
just want me to shut this off here?
I think it'll be all right there.
Okay. I think it's mostly under the roof.
Yeah, I want to put a new strap on there to keep these from...
Yeah.
I get a new one.
Okay.
It needs to be, let me get my tape. It needs to be fairly long, I think. Let's see how far that is across there. You want to hold that in?
Yeah.
Wow, 3 feet. See what I can come up with. Might have to tie a couple together. Found my hitch savers in that toolbox.
Oh,
There ain't enough room to put one on there. Keep that.
I don't know. Maybe, but be a thin one. Do we have a thin one in here?
No.
A thin one like that would probably fit.
It's pretty well mashed.
Yeah, that one's mashed, but
Yeah.
if we had one.
Oops. Okay, we'll go back out there and work on the back.
This is our little backhoe we have. We hooked this up this morning. This is a long backhoe. It's an attachment you put on one of your existing tractors, and this is our little 484. We like using this tractor. It has a front end loader, so these kind of fit together real good. This backhoe is kind of heavy, and so you need something to offset that weight. That's where this loader comes in handy. But we're gonna pull this in the shop now. We need to air the tires up. You can see they're a little squatty. And then this is kind of leaned back a little bit. We'd like to change the position of this bolt up here. Try to suck that in and get this thing a little more level. But first things first, he's gonna put this 786 in the back out of the way here. And I'm gonna move the skid steer. And then he'll move that other 806 in here, the narrow front 806. We're gonna put that closer to the door for another day project we have going on with that. The wheels like to move in and out on that no matter how tight you make them. And in order to fix that, you have to take the wheel weights off and move them back, and it's just kind of a hassle. So we're gonna actually just take and weld just a little bead right there. Not actually welding anything, just something that it would have to climb over it before it could move in or out. Good?
Yeah.
What we're doing here is taking these two bolts out, and see there's multiple options to bolt this in place here, and we're trying to shorten this distance here to try to bring this forward, which would then level our backhoe attachment out some. We're going to try it anyways and see if it works.
Ready? Yeah, that looks a lot better.
Well, we didn't.
I don't know where that socket went.
It's right there on the floor.
Okay.
If I can reach with my foot and roll it out or not.
Maybe I can bat it to you. You ready?
Yeah.
That'll right in the middle. Okay.
Well, we didn't catch it on film because we just happened to just do it just that fast.
Where's the...
We took those two bolts out and moved this centerpiece back one hole and put the bolts back in is all we're doing here. And what that did was shorten the distance of essentially the top link here is what this acts as on a 3-point setup. And that brought this in a little bit more and made this platform sit a lot more level than what it did before.
Yeah, before it was tilted really bad.
I mean, we've run it like that for a number of years, but I don't know. It just kind of didn't look quite right. I think it looks better this way. Get you a little more ground clearance between the bottom of this attachment and the ground. You know, you go in a field drive that is, you know, not exactly like perfectly level. We have hills around here, so it's nice to have a little more ground clearance now.
I'll put the breaker bar on there then and tighten it a little bit more. It's short, it's awkward, it's hard to get in there.
Yeah. This one's got some rails to make up.
Yeah, it's got to pull through all that steel. We're getting there.
That's all I can do.
Okay. Okay, now, tires. You want to hand me all the tools? Is that all you got?
That's all I had. You have the, although I didn't think about it, but should we raise these feet back up?
Probably should, yeah. And then
Well, that's all done now. Got this leveled up some more. You can see how it sits a lot more level to ground. I mean, it's a little bit leaned forward now, but I mean, it was way leaned back before. Got tires aired up. Everything's checked over on this thing, so it's ready to go. We use this thing for digging tile, and we got a little bit of that to do yet. It kind of looks like a groundhog's been digging down there at the main farm. We had Don Steiner come out and help us. There's a big 24-inch main tile that runs through that west farm down through the main dairy there, and it's got quite a few blowouts. It's just old clay bell tile. So that was the first bit of tile work done this year. Now we're going to be moving on to the smaller stuff that Dad and I usually do ourselves, but we got to finish up that 24-inch, and I'll probably film a little bit of that too. But
big project where we have to move gravel across the field. That's why we're waiting for it to dry out, because we have to bed that with gravel, and it's too soft to even hardly walk in the field right now, let alone haul gravel across the ground. So we're still waiting our turn. It'll come.
nice weather's coming, slowly but surely. I'll get the rainy, muddy stuff out of here for a minute here, and then we'll get on to the fun, exciting stuff that comes with farming.